have friends who believe that the debate was orchestrated by the deep state or Biden's handlers, and that's why it ended up the way it did. I don't believe that, and here's why. My belief is that CNN wanted to create a narrative where Trump dodged the debate with Biden. So they kept imposing more and more onerous terms on Trump. So me, and this is why Trump, I have a lot to say about Trump and the way he handled things, and I have a lot of problems with Trump. But I will say that only Trump is Trump. So nobody but Trump would have taken that CNN interview. Because Trump's magic power, but also his Greek fatal flaw, right? The Greeks would always say your greatest strength is your Achilles. Is he's so obsessed with mainstream media that he'll interview these people and talk to them all day, even though they hate him, and he gives them ratings. Meanwhile, when he was president, I said, why don't you just talk to the Daily Caller every day? Give them everything, and then everybody has to watch the Daily Caller, or give it to Breitbart, or why don't you build the conservative media ecosystem? No, because he's a boomer and he's obsessed with prestige media, or what I would call regime media, regime propaganda. So anybody else goes, I'm not walking into a CNN ambush. The terms of this are stupid. Then the narrative will be Trump won't debate Biden, and that's a good narrative they run with. But instead, Trump said, oh, you're going to turn off my microphone? Sure. Oh, you're going to make me do this? Okay, sure. Oh, you're going to do this? Sure, sure. So all of the terms led to the debate having to happen, even though it was a setup. And then Biden shows up. We've known for a while he's been sundowning, and they had it at night. They should have had it during the day. That was their fault. There was really nothing they could do. They gave him 7 days of rest. They gave him a drug cocktail, but they had to show up. They couldn't have him not show up. And they were hoping maybe he'd have a good night, because as you know, people with dementia, sometimes they have a good night.
That's right.
Sometimes they have a medium night. Biden had a terrible night, but that's the gamble you got to run. So one reason you never despair is the enemy gets a vote. And in this case, Trump was the enemy to the regime. Trump said, okay, sure, I'll show up to your rig thing because I love the media anyway. And Trump already preceded a narrative in MAGA world to explain any failures. The whole thing was rigged anyway. So the narrative was already set that if Trump had a bad night, it was because the debate terms were so unconscionable that he never should have did it, but he did it anyway. So he goes in there, presses the advantage. Biden had a bad night, an unusually bad night probably. And I don't think we need to, because I don't view the deep state or regime as omniscient. I view them as evil, bad faith actors, but that are actually less smart than we are, and they're less robust. Because for people like us, we've been through the crucible so many times, and we know we're going to be in the crucible again. We conduct ourselves a little bit differently than they do. It's like you have to remember your speeches from in high school, Julius Caesar, and one of the speeches I had to memorize in high school was, "Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men's, and one that sleeps at night. Jan Cassius has a lean and hungry look." You don't want the lean and hungry look people around you, right? We're the lean and hungry people. We're the people that we know that one misstep, we're in court, dude. We know that the regime will frame us for crimes. So not only are we not doing ethically questionable behavior, because boy, then we'd really be giving them our neck.
That's for sure.
We know these motherfuckers are going to frame us anyway. So we're already like, oh my God, I wonder whether they're going to make up about me. Shit. Whereas all the fat people, the spiritually fat people, are so weak and debased because they're the ones cooking everything up that they don't know where their weak sides are, right? So in their fat world, they're thinking, we'll just put Biden up there. Maybe he has a good night and we luck out. If it's a bad night, we'll be okay. But they didn't realize how bad it could be. Whereas if someone like you worked for, because that's also the danger of these people. They don't have any counter narrative. So if they had somebody like you there and me there, we'd have been saying, maybe this isn't a good idea. Because the problem of the right is we self-police too much. We should self-police maybe a little bit less. The problem of the left is they police away any kind of opposition view, and they allow every crazy in the tent. So for us, we know who the crazies are, and we know who the feds are, and we know to think in those terms. Whereas if you're on the left, nobody's crazy. Oh, Ilhan Omar, she's great. Oh, what was she doing about October 7th? What's she saying? Wait, Rashida Tlaib. No, guys, no. Pretend, at least pretend for one day to care. Now we have a real problem. Whereas with us, we're used to having to police ourselves and the people around us. So we maybe don't walk into the traps or unforced errors that Biden debate was. So that's a very long way of saying I don't think the regime's omniscient. I don't think that was a move to take him out. I think that was pure human groupthink in action. And they thought that they could get Trump to not take the debate because the terms were so rigged. Well, we want Biden to run in November. I think he's the weakest candidate that we can have, but there's a new enthusiasm happening knowing that if Biden stays in the race, they have to save Biden because now there's real peril. People took it for granted that Biden was going to win, Democrat voters especially, and now they're thinking that he might not win, and that'll drive more Democrat voter turnout. It's going to be hotly contested, man. It's going to be hotly contested. People saying Trump's up 2 on this poll, Trump's up 3 on this poll. None of that matters. It's going to be a hotly contested election, and people are getting lackadaisical.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a huge scramble in Washington to well, I want to be secretary of this or secretary of that, or I mean, they're acting like it's done.
Yeah, they're acting like they've won, which I don't like. There's a lot of congressional races that are close that people need to watch out for. Democrats might take the House. They think they're going to take the House. What's being done there? And unfortunately, not much. Unfortunately, people aren't running on the issues that they want to run on. So, for example, I was talking about this yesterday on X, and in Orange County, there's a real concern that Orange County could become like the Bolshevik-run Los Angeles County. So a guy Todd Spitzer ran for...
Which is right next door.
Mm-hmm, ran for district attorney. Todd Spitzer ran for district attorney. So
yeah,
in the district attorney election, the campaign slogan was no LA and OC. He won by a 2-1 margin. Orange County.
What did he mean by that?
He meant no crime. No crime waves like they have in LA. Yeah. None of these homeless encampments. None of this bail reform, so-called, happening in Orange
Just
County.
Just lets criminals circulate.
Yeah, prosecute criminals. Basic stuff. It's in a way you feel like mentally stunted that you have these conversations.
No, it's right? So true.
No, it's you're in a surreal parallel reality where you go, oh no, you see, the way to win Republicans is you want to enforce the criminal code against people who murder people. You want to actually put criminals in jail. And then you have these weird surrealist moments in yourself where you think, did I say that? Am I stupid? This is banal. Why are we talking about this?
It's right.
And you go, no, but it is banal. It's utterly stupid. And yet that's where we are as a society. So you do have to talk about it. You have to talk about it all the time. You have to remind people of this all of the time because that is the dumb world that we live in. And it does feel sometimes demoralizing because you feel like you're talking below your intellect, right? As a writer, as a speaker, you want to talk about issues that interest you and that you find novel, right? Oh, I read this book. What's this book you read? What's that about? Oh, I went down that rabbit hole. That's cool. And so much of our time, unfortunately, has to be devoted to saying, okay, Republicans, crime is bad. People don't want crime. You're running. You need to talk about crime. And then you see them talking about everything but crime. And you think, no, okay, I have to grab you by the shirt.
But Todd Spitzer did talk about crime.
And he won by 2-1 in a 50-50.
So I would think that every other Republican...
Well, ask Michelle Steele, ask these Orange County Congress members how much they're talking about crime. Ask them when's the last time they had a press conference about crime. Oh, but I'm running for Congress. It's a national issue. No, it's not. It's local, right?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.